Through which eye do you see? Through which eye do you view life? Through which eye do you perceive your reality? Through the eye of sense or through the eye of imagination? Your answer to that is showing you why you might be perceiving reality as not exactly what you want yet. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Hello, my fellow flawless, limitless, sexy, sassy, saucy HBICs. How are you on this lovely morning, afternoon, or evening? How are you all? I hope you're all doing fabulous. I hope you're all choosing to be the versions of yourself that have exactly what you want. I hope that's what you're doing. I hope it is. And if it's not, well, this video is for you today. Let me just say. So, if you're new, how you doing? I'm Kimberly, and I like to get what I want. I don't want to wait a long time to get it. I'm assuming you don't either. And I love to know and talk about everything there is to know about manifestation. And if you can handle this sass, I think you and I should be friends. So why don't you subscribe and let me know in the comments below that you subscribed. I want to know who my new friends are, since YouTube does not always tell me who my new friends are. Thank you very much. And how else are we going to have our opening conversation if you don't let me know in the comments below? And if I do see your comment, you will hear back from me. Just saying. I would like to also just remind you all that if you want to work with me in any way, shape, or form, all of that information is in my drop box below, including my 3 channel memberships, obviously some form of coaching, whether it's regular or emergency coaching, drop box below. With the channel memberships, I highly encourage you to check out the VIP, the Advanced Manifestors, as that is the group that has the access to all 3 channel memberships. And because I know this video is going up on Friday, a reminder to any channel member of the 2 Tuesday groups, which is the Advanced Manifestors and the Exclusive Lives. If you are a member to either one of them, we are having a private live stream for just us tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is my way of giving back because I had to rearrange the memberships this Tuesday because I had something in the 3D pop up. Nothing bad. But thank you to all of you that reached out and was concerned for me. It's nothing bad at all. Just a conflict. I had to deal with that and do some rearranging of my life. So boom, we're going to hang out tomorrow. So I hope you can join us. Now, let's get into it. I get comments on my channel every single day. I love getting comments. I do what I can to respond. I do go through them and read them, just saying. And this one really stuck out to me because it just happens to be in line with what we are talking about in the Advanced Manifestors group today. So let me read the comment first. I get to that place, the fuck it place, then nothing happens. I'm really questioning if this works. It's easy for people who have what they want to say it does. Maybe I'm just delusional and my desire is just me being completely fucking insane and it's not from the universe. If it hasn't come after a year, it probably isn't going to. I've done the work and I've done everything right. I've detached for months and nothing. I've done self-concept work. I've regulated my nervous system. I've worked on limiting beliefs. I've done it all. I deserve better, so I'm done. I'm done sitting in the feeling of knowing it's mine, only to be disappointed. I'm done believing the universe gave me the desire because it's meant for me, only to be disappointed. I don't subscribe to the belief that if I notice it's not here, that means I'm in lack and the universe won't bring it. So telling me that's what I'm doing wrong is meaningless. Maybe some of us just don't get what we desire. Okay. You know damn well you typed that comment with that kind of energy. You did. You did. And all right, my friend, I see you. I see where you're at. You're in perfect place for, again, what we're reading in Advanced Manifestors. Let's talk about it. Man has within him the principle of life and the principle of death. One is the imagination building its imaginal structures out of the generous dreams of fancy. The other is the imagination building of its imaginal structures from images reflected by the chill wind and very boring fact. One creates. One. The other perpetuates. Fact perpetuates. Imagination creates. Man must adopt either the way of faith or the way of sight. To the extent that man builds from dreams of fancy, he is alive. And therefore, the development of the faculty to pass through the reflective glass of the senses is an increase of life. It follows that restricting the imagination by staying the eye on the reflective glass of the senses is a reduction of life. The specious surface of fact reflects rather than discloses, deflecting the eye of imagination from the truth that sets man free. The eye of imagination, if not deflected, looks on what ought to be there, not what is. However familiar the scene on which sight rests, the eye of imagination could gaze on one never before witnessed. It is this eye of imagination and only this that can free us from the sense fixation of outer things, which completely dominates our ordinary existence and keeps us looking on the reflective glass of facts. Boring ass facts. It is possible to pass from thinking of to thinking from, but the crucial matter is thinking from, i.e., example, experiencing the state for that experience means unification. Whereas in thinking of, there is always subject and object, the thinking individual and the thing thought of. Self-abandonment, that is the secret. We have to abandon ourselves to the state in our love for the state, and in so doing, live the life of the state and no more our present state. Imagination seizes upon the life of the state and gives itself to the expression of the life of that state. Now, I get passionate when I am discussing this. Why? Because based off of that comment, what eye do you think that person is seeing reality through? The eye of the senses, the eye of fact, the eye of what seems to be right in front of me, where we want to view reality and perceive reality through the eye of imagination. I am not surprised that nothing has worked on your end. It does sound like, to me, that when you are so, let me try this new technique minded, when you believe that you are detaching for the sake of maybe this will hurry up and change my reality, I'm going to detach for months. I'm going to expect things to change because I'm detached for months. You're not changing. And I know that's tough to hear, but let me just say, I've detached for months and nothing. I've done self-concept work. On what? On what? Because your self-concept is still viewing and perceiving from the world of sense, from the world of fact. Honestly, Neville should have used a different friggin' word, because I know some of you hear that word fact and you believe that is truth. That is what is fact. This is about viewing and perceiving through the eye of imagination what ought to be here. So we will use the example of manifesting a specific person. If you are manifesting a relationship with your person, you should be viewing life from the state. That means self-abandonment to the state The version of you that is in a relationship is experiencing the relationship through the imagination. Now, I don't mean you have to go and tell all your coworkers you're in a relationship and start making up things about this imaginary relationship. But you can be viewing reality from the you, living the life of a woman or man, experiencing love, experiencing the fulfillment of a relationship. You can, in imagination, think about who you would be as the woman in the relationship or the man. You're viewing reality based on your comment from the world of the sense, through what your eyes believe it's seeing, the facts of reality. Let's say you were manifesting a specific person. You're seeing it through the eyes of someone who inherently believes, I am nowhere near, or I am nowhere close to having the relationship I desire. I'm nowhere near it. None of the techniques I have done have worked. This is where I am. Maybe I just have to succumb to the fear, the thought that maybe I'm just not going to get this. Does that feel good to think that? Do you think that's going to make you feel better? Because I will tell you that no manifestation coach can tell you what is most worthy to you and what you want to experience. If it's not important enough for you to be choosing to see yourself as living the life you want, and therefore then viewing reality as the version of yourself that sees that every single thing you're experiencing is in connection to you being the version of yourself that has the desire. So if the relationship isn't here yet, and you're not experiencing your specific person hanging out with you yet, and you think you've been doing everything right, then how do you perceive reality? Has anything you experienced help you shift into any of these versions of yourself? Because I'm assuming if you were doing self-concept work that you do feel differently about yourself versus the day you first started. And if you don't, then I would say you're still in the same state. Your state never changed. It is so easy to look out to 3D reality, not see what you want, and just chuck it up as, fuck it, this isn't going to work. I'm done trying. Good! Be done trying. This isn't about trying. This is about being. This is about self-abandonment. This means that you are willing to say, I get what I want. And what I want is to be in a loving, fulfilling, committed relationship. Maybe you're manifesting money. That I want to be abundant. I want to feel safe and secure, that I can spend my money the way I want to, and I still got a ton of money in the bank, and I feel secure to do what I want. I'm the self that never has to worry about money ever again. I got that one from one of the fellow HBICs, Sarah. She uses that as her affirmation, and I like it. I never have to worry about money ever again. That's who I am. And if the world of the sense shows me something different, I don't care. This is just a moment. And this moment must be moving my mental muscles into standing in conviction to be the me that is abundant, or is the me that's in a loving, fulfilling, committed relationship. I must be experiencing whatever's happening in your reality, even if that is nothing. I must be experiencing this for a reason. This has to be in connection to what I want, because manifestation is always happening and it is always perfect, whether you are consciously awake enough to see that or not. It is always working. There is no failing at this. There is no manifestation failure. You are just not understanding what you're experiencing in reality. However, based on your comment, and again, This really isn't meant to be picking on you. This is meant to jar you, to wake you up. How can you say, in one respect, that none of this has worked? You've done all this, you've done all that. However, just because you perceive reality that it hasn't worked yet, nothing's changed, I'm wasting my time, maybe the universe just isn't going to give it to me, but then tell me you have no belief in, well, this must mean I'm in lack. Do you understand the irony in that? The irony. I'm done believing the universe gave me the desire because it's meant for me only to be disappointed. That's not in lack? Okay. I don't subscribe to the belief that if I notice it's not here, that means I'm in lack and the universe won't bring it. So telling me that's what I'm doing wrong is meaningless. You sure about that? Are you sure about that? I don't think it's meaningless. I think it's exactly what state you're in. And listen, we don't have to be perfect. We're going to have days when we're in a shitty state, and that's okay. But it's far from meaningless. And whether you want to hear it or not, you do subscribe to that belief, or you wouldn't have taken the time to point it out to me, to tell me that you no longer have that belief. You don't subscribe to it. You do. You do so much that it is a fear, and that's why you went out of your way to point it out to me. So own it. Authentically own it. I'm afraid. I'm afraid that I might just not get this, and I'm afraid maybe I've been a fool to believe in manifestation. Maybe I've been a fool. Maybe I'm never really going to get what I want, and I was just wishing and hoping that maybe I would get my desire, and I feel like this has failed me. Own it. Own it. And it is fear. And you feel that way, and you believe it inherently because you're still viewing reality through the eye of the senses. How simple is it to look out at reality and decide, nope, nothing's changed, it's not here yet? That takes nothing. Everybody does that. So how is that any different than the version of you that started this journey? It's nowhere near different. It's the same. It takes a little bit of guts. It takes a little bit of discipline to think outside of the box, to think differently than every other muggle bitch does. This takes a little bit of heart. It takes that discipline. And I know I've already said it, but I'm going to say it again. It takes a little discipline. That no matter what you experience in reality, it isn't because manifestation failed. Simple as that. Whatever you're experiencing in reality is in connection to you becoming the person you want to be in that state of consciousness. And, for you saying that it's easy for people who have what they want to say it does, honey, I'm assuming maybe you're brand new to my channel, which, it's unfortunate. This is our first exchange if it is. But you haven't watched all my content because you would know better than to say something like that to me. Because I'm the old lady in this group. I'm 51. I spent, 4 decades not having the life I want, not having the things I wanted. Okay, I was in a perpetual victim state. So it's easy for me now. Yeah, I have what I want now. But I had to move through the states just like every other person manifesting. And trust me, I've been where you're at. I spent 40 years there. So most of us making manifestation content, not all, but most, are sharing it because we used to think and feel just like you do. I know I did. I know I doubted, and I got angry at every single person making content was law of attraction when I first started. I got mad at them too. I got frustrated with them too because I wanted to believe what they were saying. But when my world wouldn't change, I blamed them for it. And then I would beat myself up for being so stupid to give in to the idea that I could change my life with my thoughts. Because nothing seemed to be changing. But guess what? Now that I am here where I am now, I can see that even in those desperate, really shitty feeling victim states, I was being stretched. I was being changed. All of the things I experienced helped me to become the me I am right now. So whatever it is you're manifesting, it's not because you can't have it. And the desire is from source. Now, what you believe source is, you keep using the word universe, so I'm assuming that's what you think it is. You are that universe. It's coming from you. All desires are holy. The only reason we doubt that is because the conversation on our ego is so overwhelmingly plunged into all of our minds in this community. We don't have to fear our ego. Ego is also a manifestation of source. So we're taught that only certain desires are from God or from universe. No, everyone is. Even in the ones that you and I in ego would disagree and think they are terrible things. But the truth is every single thing is neutral. Everything. Even the things that from morality standpoint would sound terrible, but they're still neutral in the eyes of source. It is us through identity, through ego, that label things good or bad. Now, if you really want the thing that you're manifesting, it's time for another change in the self-concept. Because where you're at, how you're perceiving reality, and clearly how you're feeling right now, is not someone who knows and who is showing up, experiencing internally in imagination the state of consciousness of whatever it is you are manifesting. It's not. It is a state of lack. I know you don't want to hear that, but that is the truth. It's a victim state. I've been there. I spent a long time there. But it is something you can transcend. And I wouldn't give up if I were you. But I will say, if you're attaching linear time to, I don't want to have to do this for this amount of time, or I'm not going to try to manifest this person forever, I'm not going to do this forever, you are already working against yourself. You are already in the mindset of not having. Whether you want to hear that or not, it's the truth. I'm not going to do this forever, so don't. So don't. You might as well not even start with that attitude. Manifestation is real. But what eye are you viewing reality from? The eye of the senses, which, like Neville says, is just going to help you to keep perpetuating the same boring ass reality. Boring, repetitive, because they're not changing. But when you view it through the eye of the imagination, that's what brings the changes. So abandon yourself. And I just made a self-abandonment video, I believe, a week or two ago. Abandon this current state, right? Self-abandonment. And sincerely unify yourself to your new state. What does that mean? That means not just thinking you're in this state for 2 minutes and then go right back to interacting with reality from the state that you don't have what you want from. When we decide we are a version of ourselves, when we make that conscious decision, the point of making that decision is so that you, from that point on, do your best to show up and interact with reality from that new state. Not to say I am my new self and then go right back to the old state. That's kind of defeating the whole purpose, and it's probably why you feel the way you do right now. Do you get what I'm saying? The imagination. That's how we want to see reality, through imagination. So on that note, I'll see you tomorrow.